I'm about to teach you a technique Louise Hay kept secret for decades. In just 60 seconds, you can eliminate your stress. But I need to be quick. This information is being removed from the internet. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 8 seconds, making an I sound. Repeat 3 times. There you go. Your nervous system has just been reset. But wait, this isn't ordinary breathing. This is military-grade neurohacking, adapted by Louise Hay herself. She discovered this in 1978 during a terrifying panic attack. She was in the hospital. Doctors wanted to admit her. She refused and ran. In the parking lot, she couldn't breathe. Her heart was racing, a cold sweat poured down her face. Her vision blurred. She was about to pass out when she saw a mother soothing a baby. The mother made a specific sound. Shh. Long, controlled, rhythmic. The baby calmed down instantly. Louise mimicked the sound. Within 30 seconds, the panic vanished. She had discovered the oldest hack of the human nervous system, but that was just the beginning. Louise researched for years. She discovered this technique existed for millennia, but it was being hidden. Why? Because a free technique that cures anxiety in 60 seconds would destroy a multi-billion-dollar industry. Anxiety medication rakes in $115 billion a year. Antidepressants, another $80 billion. A breathing technique that works better than medication? Unacceptable. Louise discovered this technique was being secretly tested on American soldiers. It worked so well it became classified. Soldiers in combat used this breathing to maintain mental clarity under extreme pressure, to make the right decisions when their lives depended on it. But it was never released to civilians. Louise broke that barrier. She adapted the military technique for everyday use and tested it on thousands of people. The results were shocking. Chronic anxiety cured in weeks. Panic attacks eliminated in days. Insomnia resolved on the first night. But when Louise tried to publish the results, publishers refused. Doctors ridiculed her. The media ignored her. She understood she had messed with powerful interests. So she developed a strategy. She taught the technique disguised as a simple relaxation exercise, without mentioning the military origins, without citing the real effectiveness. For 40 years, only close students knew the truth. But Louise left clues. For those who knew where to look, today I'm revealing everything she hid. The complete technique, the military secrets, the science behind it. Because you have the right to know that you carry within you the most powerful peace technology ever discovered. Your vagus nerve is your body's internet cable. It connects your brain, heart, lungs, stomach. When this cable is working well, you feel calm, focused, balanced. When it's malfunctioning, you feel anxiety, depression, anger, fear. Louise's breathing is a complete reset of this cable, but not just any breathing. A specific sequence that activates the vagus nerve at the exact healing frequency. 4 seconds of inhalation activate the sympathetic nervous system, the alert system. 7 seconds of pause force a transition, like shifting gears in a car. 8 seconds of exhalation with sound activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the healing system. This 4-7-8 sequence is a mathematical formula for instant peace. Louise discovered that the ah sound is crucial. It vibrates at a specific frequency that internally massages the vagus nerve. It's like tuning a guitar. The right sound puts everything in harmony. But there are details she never revealed publicly. The position of the tongue during exhalation, the angle of the head during the pause, the intensity of the sound, details that transform a good technique into a perfect technique. I'll teach you these details. But first, you need to understand why it works. When you're stressed, your vagus nerve goes into emergency mode, as if you were being chased by a tiger. Your heart races, your breathing becomes short, your muscles tense, your mind races. This made sense when tigers were real. Today, the tiger is the angry boss, the bank account, the complicated relationship. But your body doesn't know the difference. It reacts as if your life were in danger. Louise's breathing convinces your body that the danger has passed, that you are safe. In 60 seconds, you go from tiger mode to peace mode. But here's the secret that few know. This technique doesn't just calm you, it reprograms you. Each time you use it, you strengthen your natural ability to cope with stress. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Louise practiced for 40 years. At the end of her life, nothing stressed her anymore. Literally, nothing. She had become immune to stress. And she left the instructions for you to do the same. But there are levels of practice, from basic to advanced. Basic level, use when stressed. Immediate effect, intermediate level, use preventively, 3 times a day. Lasting effect, advanced level, use for deep reprogramming. Specific sessions for different traumas. Louise mastered all levels. That's why she always seemed serene, always at peace. Even facing serious problems, she maintained total mental clarity. Because she had immediate access to the reset button of her nervous system, I'm going to teach you how to master all levels, starting with the corrected basic technique, with all the details that Louise hid. Sit comfortably, straight but relaxed back, relaxed shoulders. Place the tip of your tongue behind your upper teeth. This position is crucial. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound. Empty your lungs. Close your mouth. Inhale through your nose, counting mentally to 4. Hold your breath. Count mentally to 7. Slightly tilt your head forward during the pause. Exhale through your mouth, counting to 8. Make an ah sound during the entire exhalation. That's 1 cycle. Repeat at least 3 times. After the 3rd cycle, breathe normally. Observe the sensations in your body. If done correctly, you will feel waves of relaxation, muscles releasing, mind clearing. This is the basic level. But Louise developed powerful variations. For acute anxiety, 6 consecutive cycles. For insomnia, 12 cycles before bed. For anger, 9 cycles with longer exhalation. Each emotional problem has a specific variation. Louise mapped these variations by studying how different emotions affect breathing. When you are anxious, you breathe quickly and shallowly. When you are depressed, you breathe slowly and incompletely. When you are angry, you breathe irregularly and forcefully. Louise's technique reverses this process. It uses conscious breathing to change your emotional state. It's reverse engineering emotions, a process of understanding and manipulating them. But there's a secret, a technique Louise Hay guarded until the end of her life, a secret she held close. This technique can be used for manifestation, for creating your reality. Imagine that. When you're in that state of deep peace, after completing the breathing cycles, your mind becomes incredibly suggestible. Like self-induced hypnosis, a powerful state. In this state, thoughts become programming. Intentions become commands. It's that powerful. Louise used this to heal illnesses, to attract opportunities, to transform relationships. She harnessed the power of her mind. She developed a specific protocol for this, a sequence combining breathwork with focused intention, a precise formula. This protocol was never publicly taught. It was reserved for advanced students, a closely guarded secret. But it's time to democratize this knowledge. It's time to share this powerful tool. Because the world needs people at peace, empowered people. People who know how to access their own inner strength, their own potential. The manifestation protocol has 5 phases. 5 steps to unlocking your inner power. Phase 1, energetic cleansing through basic breathing, clearing the path. Phase 2, entering the theta state through prolonged breathing, accessing the subconscious. Phase 3, programming your intention through specific visualization, painting a vivid picture in your mind. Phase 4, anchoring through confirmation breathing, solidifying your intention. Phase 5, release through surrender breathing, letting go and trusting the process. Each phase uses a different breathing pattern. Each pattern activates a different part of the brain, a precise symphony of breath and intention. It's applied neuroscience through ancient techniques, a powerful blend of modern science and age-old wisdom. Louise discovered that our ancestors knew things modern science is only beginning to understand. Knowledge passed down through generations. That conscious breathing is transformative technology, a technology you already possess, that you can literally breathe a new reality into your life, a breathtaking concept. But this requires practice, dedication, consistency. It's a journey, not a sprint. Louise practiced 2 hours a day in her later years, not because she needed to, but because she loved it. She'd become addicted to that state of deep peace, to direct access to her inner power. An empowering addiction. She said conscious breathing was the only drug she approved of because the side effects were all positive: more mental clarity, more physical energy, more emotional stability, more spiritual connection, a holistic transformation. And unlike medication, the effects improve over time. The more you practice, the more powerful it becomes, a compounding effect. But some people practice and don't see results. Why? Louise identified 7 common mistakes that block effectiveness, 7 pitfalls to avoid. First mistake: rushing, wanting immediate results without giving your nervous system time to adjust. Patience is key. Second mistake: tension, forcing the breath instead of letting it flow naturally. Relax and let go. Third mistake: judgment, analyzing whether it's working instead of simply practicing. Trust the process. Fourth mistake: inconsistency, practicing only when stressed instead of creating consistency. Make it a habit. Fifth mistake: superficiality, focusing only on the technique without understanding the philosophy behind it. Delve deeper. Sixth mistake: isolation, practicing alone without sharing with other practitioners. Find your community. Seventh mistake: giving up, stopping at the first difficulty instead of persisting until mastery. Perseverance is vital. Louise always said, conscious breathing is like learning the piano. At first it's difficult. With practice it becomes natural. And when it becomes natural, you have permanent access to extraordinary states of consciousness. States where stress doesn't exist, where fear has no power, where you are completely free. A liberating experience. Louise lived in these states for decades. That's why she seemed so wise, so serene, so powerful. It wasn't special talent. It was mastered technique, a testament to the power of practice. And now you have access to the same technique, a powerful opportunity. But you need more than information. You need transformation. Information is knowing the technique exists. Transformation is practicing until mastery. The difference between knowing and being. Louise transformed thousands of lives teaching this technique, discreetly, carefully, because she knew that real power needs to be used responsibly. A crucial understanding. Conscious breathing is real power. Power over your internal state, power over your reactions, power over your reality, a profound power. And with great power comes great responsibility, a weighty responsibility, the responsibility to use this knowledge to heal, to grow, to serve, not to manipulate, not to control, not to harm. Use this power wisely. Louise always tested the intentions of her students before teaching advanced techniques, a crucial step. Those seeking power for the ego were gently redirected, a wise approach. Those seeking power for healing were carefully trained. Guidance and support are essential, because the technique amplifies intention. If your intention is negative, the results will be negative. Your intentions matter. If your intention is positive, the results will be extraordinary. Positive intentions yield positive results. That's why Louise always started with self-knowledge, with purification of intentions, with brutal honesty about real motivations. Self-reflection is paramount. Only then did she teach the powerful techniques, a structured and responsible approach. This safety protocol protected the technique for decades, a necessary precaution. But now, the time has come to trust in collective wisdom. To believe that good people will use this tool for good, a leap of faith, and that those with questionable intentions will naturally self-sabotage the technique's inherent protection, because the technique has an internal protection system. It only works with a pure heart, a powerful filter. Louise discovered this by testing it with hundreds of people. Those who practiced with love saw incredible results. Love amplifies the technique. Those who practiced with anger saw little to no results. Anger hinders the process. The technique responds to the practitioner's emotional frequency, a subtle yet profound connection. It's as if it has its own intelligence, as if it chooses who to help, a sentient energy. Louise believed that's exactly how it was, that sacred techniques have consciousness, that they choose their guardians, their disseminators, their heirs, a chosen lineage. If you've come this far, you may have been chosen to guard this technique, to practice it, to share it responsibly, a sacred trust. Louise always said that true knowledge cannot be hidden forever. There comes a time when it needs to be released. To those who are ready, the time has come. This moment has arrived. The world is experiencing unprecedented collective stress. People need real tools, not theories, not promises. Tools that work, practical solutions. Louise's breathing is one of those tools. Tested, proven, refined for decades, ready to be used by those who truly need it, by you. But before teaching the advanced techniques, I need to tell you something that will change your perspective on everything. The most shocking discovery Louise made wasn't about breathing, it was about conspiracy. She discovered that there's a secret protocol to keep populations stressed. A dark secret. A protocol used by governments, by corporations, and by the media. A disturbing revelation. Because stressed people are easier to control, easier to manipulate, easier to exploit. A sinister truth. People at peace think clearly, ask difficult questions, don't accept simple answers. The power of peace. That's why real peace techniques are systematically hidden or ridiculed. A deliberate suppression. Louise discovered this when she tried to publish her first results. Publishers who accepted similar manuscripts rejected hers, a clear indication of suppression. Doctors who championed alternative therapies criticized her approach. She noticed a pattern, an organized resistance, so she changed tactics. Instead of confronting the system, she decided to infiltrate it. She began teaching light techniques, diluted versions that didn't threaten established interests, but simultaneously, she created a secret network. Advanced students who learned the real techniques. This network grew silently for decades, spreading genuine knowledge through alternative channels. Today, you are connecting to this network, receiving information that has been protected for generations. But with this privilege comes responsibility. The responsibility to use this knowledge wisely, to protect it from those who want to destroy it, and to share it with those who truly need it. The technique you've learned so far is only the beginning. There's an advanced version Louise developed in her final years, a version she called the quantum reset. This version doesn't just calm the nervous system, it completely reprograms it. It changes neural pathways, alters brain chemistry, transforms personality. It's like reformatting a computer, but the computer is you. The quantum reset uses specific breathing sequences combined with focused intentions. Each sequence activates a different frequency of consciousness: alpha frequency for creativity, theta frequency for healing, delta frequency for profound transformation. Louise mapped these frequencies by studying Tibetan monks, indigenous shamans, Sufi masters. She discovered that all spiritual traditions used breath to alter consciousness, but each tradition had developed specific patterns for specific goals. Louise synthesized everything, creating a complete breathing technology, a system that allows access to any desired state of consciousness. This is the true legacy she left. Not just isolated techniques, but a complete map of human consciousness, and the instructions to navigate this map using only breath. But this knowledge comes with serious warnings. Advanced states of consciousness can be dangerous if misused. They can create psychological dependence, cause dissociation, trigger spiritual crises. That's why Louise created rigorous safety protocols, gradual progression, experienced supervision, careful integration. Without these protocols, the practice can do more harm than good. It's like giving a Ferrari to someone who just got their driver's license. The power is there, but the responsibility to use it safely is yours. Louise always said, "Power without wisdom is destruction. Wisdom without power is frustration. Power with wisdom is transformation." The basic technique you've learned is safe for everyone. It can be practiced without risk, but the advanced techniques require preparation, study, guidance. That's why Louise never taught them publicly. They were reserved for serious students, students who demonstrated emotional maturity, psychological stability, pure intentions. If you want to access these techniques, you first need to master the basic one. Practice daily for at least 3 months. Observe the effects, integrate the results. Only then will you be ready for the next level. But even the basic technique can completely transform your life. It can end chronic anxiety, cure insomnia, eliminate panic attacks. It can bring mental clarity, increase energy, improve relationships, It can make you feel at peace for the first time in years. This peace isn't passive. It's active. It's powerful. It's the peace of someone who knows they have control over their internal state, of someone who knows that nothing external can steal their serenity, of someone who has discovered that they carry within them the source of all tranquility. Louise discovered this source at 40. She spent the next 50 years honing it, transforming it into a precise technology, an exact science, a tool that anyone can use if they have the courage to try. Courage to challenge the social conditioning that says you need to suffer. Courage to question the cultural programming that normalizes stress. Courage to believe that you deserve deep peace. This courage doesn't come naturally. It's cultivated through practice. Every time you choose to breathe consciously instead of reacting automatically, you are cultivating courage. Every time you choose peace instead of drama, you are strengthening your courage. Every time you choose self-love instead of self-sabotage, you are expanding your courage. Louise's breathing is an exercise in courage because it requires you to stop, to breathe, to trust. In a society that values speed, stopping is an act of rebellion. In a culture that glorifies stress, relaxing is an act of resistance. In a civilization that promotes fear, choosing peace is a revolutionary act. Louise was a silent revolutionary. She revolutionized herself first, then helped thousands do the same, not through protests or manifestos, but through conscious breathing. The most powerful revolution is the one that happens within you. When you change, everything around you changes in response. When you find peace, you inspire others to seek the same peace. When you heal yourself, you give permission for others to heal. This is the true power of Louise's technique. It doesn't just transform individuals, it transforms communities. It transforms the world, breath by breath, person by person, moment by moment. Tonight, when you practice for the first time, you will be connecting to a lineage of practitioners, people who chose peace instead of chaos, people who chose love instead of fear, people who chose transformation instead of conformity. You will become part of this lineage, a guardian of the technique, a practitioner of peace, an agent of transformation. But only if you practice, only if you commit, only if you believe you deserve a life without unnecessary stress. Louise believed that every person deserves this life, and she spent 40 years proving it's possible. Now it's your turn to prove it, to yourself, to your family, to the world. The breath that eliminates stress in 60 seconds is here. The instructions are clear. The path is open. All that remains is to begin. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8 with a sound of ah, and discover what Louise knew, that you are more powerful than you imagine, that peace is your natural state, that freedom is your inheritance, and that everything you need to access all of this is inside you, waiting to be activated through conscious breathing and the breath of peace, the breath of freedom, Louise Hay's breath. It's a powerful stress-busting technique, a secret she guarded for decades. And now, we're about to unlock it. This isn't some fluffy self-help exercise. This is a military-grade neurohacking method, a technique so effective, it's being scrubbed from the internet. Get ready, because this is big. This is the kind of information that could change your life. Imagine eliminating stress in under 60 seconds. Sounds too good to be true, right? But it's real. Picture this. You're on the verge of a panic attack. Your heart is racing. You're drenched in cold sweat. Your vision is blurry. You feel completely overwhelmed. This ancient hack of the human nervous system, this decades-old secret, it's your personal reset button. The multi-billion-dollar anxiety medication and antidepressant industry doesn't want you to know about this. They profit from your suffering, from your anxiety, from your insomnia, your anger, your inability to find inner peace. But we're going to give you the knowledge, the power, the tools, to take control, to silence the noise, to finally escape the grip of stress. This isn't just some simple relaxation exercise. It's a precise technique that targets the vagus nerve. Think of it as switching your body from tiger mode, that fight-or-flight sympathetic nervous system response, to peace mode, activating your parasympathetic nervous system. It's about finding the exact healing frequency, like tuning a finely crafted guitar, achieving perfect harmony within your body. It's about reprogramming your nervous system. It's about accessing deep, profound relaxation, and it begins with your posture. Sit with a straight but relaxed back, relaxed shoulders. The key is in the subtle details, the precise placement of your tongue, just the tip, gently resting against the roof of your mouth, behind your upper teeth, and then the breath. It's not just about breathing. It's about conscious breathing. It's about controlling your emotional state. This technique has been used by American soldiers. It's been used by civilians struggling with acute anxiety. It's been used by people fighting insomnia. It's a life raft in a storm, a beacon of hope. The more you practice, the more proficient you become, the more readily available this reset button becomes, and the more powerful this technique becomes. This isn't a quick fix. It's a lifelong tool, a pathway to lasting mental clarity. It's about cultivating a sense of calm amidst chaos, about finding inner peace in a world that often feels anything but peaceful. And it all starts now, with this one simple breath. Get ready to experience the breath of freedom, Louise Hay's breath.